Greetings everyone, future feature film director, the Rookie Critic here today, and I'll be talking about the actor and karate master, Jason David Frank. JDF was born in 1973 and has a wife and kid, an ex-wife and 3 kids, and has been acting for 26 years to date. He has around 40 acting credits and is one of my favorite actors in the business. Almost everyone is at least vaguely familiar with this man as the original Green Ranger, Tommy Oliver, in the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger TV series of the 90s. Other than a few random episodes, I never saw the rest of the Mighty Morphin seasons, and then I started watching Power Rangers Weekly around halfway through Zeo. But if I'm honest, I only remembered a few things from a few episodes. Nothing stood out too much except for the Gold Ranger versus the Red, but remember, this is from when I was watching it when I was 4 or 5 years old. Anyway, back to the topic. Tommy was the new kid in town, and the evil Empress Rita Repulsa chose him to be her evil Green Ranger. It was an incredible story, and is one of the examples that I look to show how Power Rangers can have drama and stakes, and isn't just specifically corny silliness all the time. JDF was into martial arts before he became an actor, and was determined to share his love for it with the younger generations. He's always held the true values of martial arts and never gave up.
See, I became a martial artist so I could develop my mind and feel good about myself. Not so I can win fights. So if you want to study martial arts to beat up other people, well, then you'll never become a true martial artist.
JDF was supposed to play as Tommy Oliver for around 10 episodes in the Mighty Morphin series, but his popularity and love from the fans helped allow him to return as the White Ranger. But before he could return, he almost had his own show. Yeah, seriously. He starred in a pilot episode of Cybertron. No, not the Transformers, which that turned into the VR Troopers. I'm going to link this other channel that goes into detail about that in the description below. He starred in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and even had a brief cameo in the 2015 movie. None of these films are what I would call great, but they did have nuggets of enjoyment in each of them that made them special. There is a boatload of Power Ranger work that JDF has done, both on and off the main show. He holds the record for being in the most Power Ranger episodes at 225 to date. He is seen by most as the favorite, the face, and the best of the entire Ranger franchise. Even the show as a series sees him as the legend.
What did you do that for?
Because I'm so bugging I can't even deal. Our teacher is the oldest living Power Ranger.
Wow. So that was Tommy. He really is the greatest Ranger.
My opinion on Tommy Oliver has changed over the years. I love him and think that he's awesome. However, I believe that more could have been done to make him more interesting. I'll touch more on this in a different video, but for now I'll say that there are other Rangers that had better development and arcs, even if they were done in a much shorter time frame.
No. We may have grown up differently, but we have a lot in common. We both fought to change our destinies, and we both succeeded. Look at this.
For those that are not aware of JDF's Power Ranger count, he played as the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, the Red Zeo Ranger, the Turbo Red Ranger, and the Dino Black Ranger. Those were the ones from the main show. I'll mention the rest that he does off the show shortly. Out of all the different Power Ranger series that have come out since its conception, I think that the Dino Thunder season is probably somewhere within the top 10 best, in my opinion. It has a bunch of callbacks and nostalgia, but it also passes the torch along pretty well to the new Rangers. Tommy is the mentor of the new group and had a great premise with the dinos being a theme, since that's how it all started. JDF was also in the Forever Red episode in the season of Wild Force, where all of the Red Rangers up to that point had to work together to defeat the Beetleborgs. I mean, the last remnants of King Mongo, of course. Silly me. He also had a cameo in the 20th anniversary Mega Battle. That, well, I never really watched that season, but all I can say is that the episode had a bunch of continuity errors and broke in-world lore, mostly for fan service, I imagine. I can't really blame him for that, though, because, I mean, the whole special could have been a lot better and was horribly executed. A critique for a different video, perhaps, in the future. And just in case someone mentions it, it is possible that the Super Sentai version of the season, it all made a lot more sense because of the continuity of that show goes far longer and every single season has a new cast, as to where we had the Mighty Morphin as the start and the cast passes the torch on or gain new powers themselves for a while before swapping it to the new team every season. In the Ninja Steel 25th anniversary, he made a return as the Black Dino Ranger, and I'll admit that even though it was a super quick, overstuffed episode, and I never really saw that show either, it was far better than the 20th anniversary performance, at least in my opinion. I bet that you thought that JDF only made appearances as Tommy only in the shows and movies, didn't you? Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. He has played in many roles as Tommy Oliver, being the Green Ranger, White Ranger, and more. But he was also in The Legacy Wars, Street Fighter team-up video, the Green Ranger vs. Ryan Ranger from Street Fighter, the White Ranger vs. Scorpion vs. Ryu. He plays as Lord Draken, the mix of the White and Green Ranger in the Shattered Grid trailer, and he plays as the White Dragon Ranger in a short clip for a failed project. There was one more thing that he was involved in that I had a lot of trouble finding footage of. I never heard of it before and was getting quite confused. He had a role in Power Rangers Hyperforce, of which I thought was like a little fan-made Power Rangers movie series, then he did a cameo of some kind, but nah, it's basically just Dungeons & Dragons, but with Power Rangers. I could possibly be missing a few of his appearances, but just let me know down in the comments if you know of any others. You guys should seriously check out the movie that is free on YouTube, Ninjak vs. the Valiant Universe. He plays as a character called Bloodshot. I really want to see more films from them. It felt like it was brought to life from a comic book, and there's even a character that is kind of like a mix of Thor and Aragorn.
I never could sneak up on you.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
His work on these other projects might not seem like much to some people, but I really appreciate and admire his passion. He does so much and works on these projects that really should have much more support than they already do. We have now entered the final act of this video. While researching Jason David Frank, there are some things that I discovered to be quite unexpected, like how he and Jean-Claude Van Damme had some beef a while back and almost got in a fight. And speaking of a fight, he apparently, now I'm actually kind of really confused on this one because I don't really understand how this works, but he was in some sort of sport fight or MMA thing or something. Links to those are in the description below because I don't really get it. I don't know. Would you like to know something a little more bizarre than that? Well, someone tried to kill JDF at one point. The details on the whole thing are kind of long, so I'll just link that in the description below so that you can look into that yourself. Just so you know. JDF also has his own YouTube channel, and he posts poems, motivational videos, behind-the-scenes vlogging and sets, and sometimes little sneak peeks into his projects. I highly recommend that you subscribe to him and give him a follow on Instagram. Jason David Frank is by far one of my favorite actors around and is a true example of how a celebrity should be. Certain other celebrities should take note. He shows the absolute most respect for the fans and wants to make both fun and entertaining media, as well as help people out wherever he can. As much as I would love to see him in some major Hollywood popular projects, I feel like he just kind of fits better where he is right now, doing his current projects and helping people and just doing them the way that he does. Well, that about wraps up the video. Let me know what you think about JDF down in the comments below. What is your favorite Ranger he played as? Will he be in any future Power Ranger films? Thank you all for coming by, and have a great rest of your day.
Ready.
So many Rangers. So much potential. Squandered for so long.
Now that we have the Ryu Ranger, let's settle this. Let her go. I'm the one you want.
Finally, we meet.
It's time to finish this.
Hey there, movie lovers and potential GoFundMe backers. I'm on YouTube trying to gain experience to become a feature film director someday. I'm working on a film project called The Rookie's Legends, set to release sometime this summer of 2020. With modern entertainment constantly being rebooted, retconned, hijacked, overused, and lacking passion, a villain plans to unleash the gods of cinema to destroy all of film history and restart it for herself. It's up to the Rookie and his band of small YouTubers to protect the legacy of film history as we know it. If you would like an example of this style of film, check out my Rookie's Quest trilogy. If you would like to help fund the project and be credited as a producer, the link to my GoFundMe is in the description below, along with my Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all for listening, and have a great rest of your day.